Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Chris from Strategy Beam, and today we're going to take a look at how to optimize internal link structure for your site. In a previous video, we looked at how to optimize SEO content silos and how to structure your content in silos and the importance of that. And this is kind of a continuance on that previous video, so if you haven't already looked at that, please pause this video and go take a look at that. We will be looking at how to optimize internal link structure today. So first off, let's look at what the benefits of internal linking is. There's quite a few, and these are the top three that really stand out. The first one is that internal links allow you to control the page and link power throughout your site. So what this means is that not all pages are equal value to your site, just like not all pages are equal value to your customers or potential customers. So this just means that internal links allow you to pass power and context from one page onto another, and the pages that have the most value on your site are called money pages, and we're going to reference that a couple times. So with internal linking, you can push power and link juice, if you will, from one page to your money pages, and by doing that it helps those pages stand out in SERPs, and it also helps Google and other search engines understand the context of what's on that page. Internal linking also improves user experience. So having a page or a blog post that links to other pages or blog posts on your site allows Google and your user, your customer, your audience to understand and to continue to learn from your website. So instead of just having a standalone blog post that doesn't link anywhere, you do want to have links in that blog post that go to your money site, your money pages, as well as other blog posts to continue that learning experience and the customer journey. And then the third one here is internal linking helps boost performance metrics. Performance metrics are things like time on content, how many pages did people visit, decreasing bounce rate, things of that nature. And while many people don't think about these metrics, they do have a pretty big impact on how Google ranks your site. So if you have lower performance metrics like time on content, number of pages, and how many sessions people come and returning users, then the lower your site is going to rank. So internal links really help out with controlling the power of pages, improving the user experience, and also improve performance metrics across your site. So we were talking about how in the previous video we looked at how to create silo structures. Internal linking is very closely related to those content silos. And let's take a look at how internal linking and silos work together. The first thing is that internal linking needs to happen within those content silos. And all links need to point into their own silos. So in the previous example from the past video, we looked at how to keep parent pages linking to child pages and parent pages only linking to other parent pages. And the reason we do this is because content silos keep our content very well organized, and as a result, it's easy for Google and our audience to understand that content. So some hard and fast rules that I like to stick to is that child pages should never link outside of their silo. So in the previous example from the past video, we looked at tents, and family tents would never link to hiking boots or something like that. That's just because we want to keep everything tight and organized as possible. And in the same rule of thumb, only parent pages should point to other parent pages. And those parent pages should point to their own similar or related child pages. So we have a very up and down vertical as well as horizontal, and the only horizontal movement across silos that happens is between parent pages. So here's an example of internal linking and silos working together. We have the same example from the silos video that we looked at last week, that we can have the main category page of camping pointing to other child pages within tents, but tents only, the parent page of tents, the one in the yellow, only points down to backpacking tents, expedition tents, family camping tents, and then within each silo, the child pages are only pointing to similar similar child pages. So there we see backpacking tents pointing to expedition tents, pointing to family camping tents, and vice versa. They can all point to each other, but it's just very important that we have a very strict linear and horizontal movement of links to keep our link power structured. This is a bad example of internal linking. You can see that child pages are linking up to category pages, which are linking to parent pages that are linking across silos. And this is very, very difficult for Google to understand what content is going on, and also for your audience to understand what's going on. So we don't want to have it look like this. We want it to look like this. So you might be asking, so Chris, how do we actually make that happen? Well, that's a very good question. Let's jump into that. There's two ways that you could do this. You could either start out fresh if you're just launching your site, which is the easiest and the most efficient way to set up silos and interlinking, or you could do it if you've already launched your site, which is very difficult. And I've done that with my site, and it's very expensive and very time consuming and very tedious. So if you haven't started your website yet, I would say stop and take a look at this. So optimizing by starting new. You always want to create your categories of content. We looked at that with tents, boots, backpacks, jackets, whatever it is. And then arrange each content by similarities. So in our case, we had tents, and then child pages we clearly marked as being family tents, expedition tents, backpacking tents, etc. And you would do that for all the different categories and all the different silos. And then on a spreadsheet, you could just lay out how to interlink child pages and articles. This is just a way that you can always reference back. For me personally, I always like to just dive in and take action, but I found that after many hours that were wasted because I forgot what I was doing, you can't memorize everything, you kind of get lost. It's easier just to write it out on a spreadsheet. And then also you always want to plan this out along with the architecture. And here's a simple example. I just use Google Sheets if I'm building on a new website or working on a new silo for a client. And basically I just start out with 3 columns: page type, URL, and notes. And then within page type is usually just the parent page. And then underneath that I put a hyphen, space, and then whatever the child page would be. And you can see that URL structure is hiking boots, hiking hyphen boots. And then waterproof is hiking hyphen boots, water hyphen proof. And you could do that however you want, and that would be where you put the keywords or to help out with your user experience, things of that nature. And then underneath that we have camping tents, and then we broke that out. And then also backpack, and backpack we would break it out as well. This is really the starting point. So now you can start to see that only waterproof pages would link to the trail running, Gore-Tex, whatever else it is that can link back up to hiking boots, and only hiking boots, the parent page, would link to camping tents or backpacks. And just that example would keep going. So this is one way to kind of make this element less abstract and a little bit easier to implement. Now, if you want to optimize silos with existing content, I can tell you firsthand this is very difficult. It's time consuming, it's expensive. I had to pay a developer for 301 redirects on the HTTPS. The HTTP access folder, and that was pretty expensive because they're smart and they charged me about $125 an hour. So if you already started a website, just be ready to pay some money, and also you're gonna have to do the same thing that we looked at in the previous slide, where you do have to list this out because that's just kind of a baseline. So you're gonna have to do that anyways. So it's not really a big deal if you've already started your site. You need to start getting silos and interlinking, but just for your own knowledge, it is going to be a little bit of an expense and time consumption as well. So if you do already have a site and you want to optimize for interlinking and content silos, be prepared to spend about an hour per page. That's just a general rule of thumb. So if you have a number of people working with you, it might not take too long. I myself, did this all by myself with a developer, and it took me about 20 to 30 hours over the course of a couple weeks. So the first thing you want to do is scrape the site for all URLs on your page. This is just to make sure that you don't leave any 404 redirects or anything like that, because you're going to need to do a 301 redirect from all of your old pages to now your new architecture, just to make sure that everything is captured and you don't have any loose ends. Then you want to organize that in a spreadsheet, kind of like we looked at in the previous slides. And then you want to assign keywords, URLs, etc. I always like to assign 3 primary keywords and 2 LSI keywords using tools like Keywords Everywhere, SEMrush, Ahrefs, other tools like that where you could kind of get context for what people are looking for. And then also, we already spoke about this, but it's very important to add 301 redirects from old pages to the new URLs. Otherwise, Google will have no idea what's going on. You're going to hurt your SEO and you're going to be in a worse spot than if you would have just left it. So you do have to break down the site in order to build it back up. So there you have it, guys. We just went over how to optimize internal linking for your SEO and how that relates to content silos. If you liked the video, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe below. We'd love to hear from you, and please share it with your friends because that really helps us out. So go on out there and optimize your site and start making some money. Until we talk to you next time, thanks for your time, and we'll see you later.